You just heard a new plugin installment to the Play series in Contact. If you're not familiar with Native Instruments and the whole Play series, as you can see in this visual right here, most of the Play series is set up in this kind of way. So you can just go on Native Instruments to get more info about that. But this Play series that we're looking at today is called 40's own Drums and Keys. And right now we're looking at the keys part, and we're gonna go to the drums part. This is a sound that people was trying to make back in the days when Drake was coming up, like the old Drake, like the October's Very Own mixtape, or whereas like it had Uptown and all that, or even a Thank Me Later album. Think about it like if you're going to Guitar Center and you're picking out your favorite analog gear like the Juno, or you know, all these other different analog gear for that sound. So we're just going to flip through without a further ado, go through a couple presets. You really get like this wavy sound, man, just like that vibe. And this is not like, oh, now everybody's beats about to sound like Drake. You don't have to think like that. Like, you could use this plugin amongst with other different VSTs. So it got like basses as well. Yeah, there's just a lot of sounds. So as we can even see, like, you got all these basses, you got all these keys, all these leads, mallets, a few organs, a few pads, percussions, sequence. You could just really start to play around with it. Like, I even made this ill melody.
What is it exactly that you're trying to show me?
This is actually called the Debo pad. So I just went to the pad section and you can find it there, Debo pad. And this is how it sounds. And then I layered it with Dusty Shine, so you can find it in the key section, same thing. Like, you're just gonna get inspiration off the back very quickly. Then I added like this, like a short counter melody and 40 Justice. I think this is a lead, yes. And I use a pad, it's called Ilsim pad, that's what it looks like. Yeah, and it's very simple. So that was more so for texture. And then once you have all three of them together, it sounds like this. Yo, that's hard. And then all I did was just like, I render it out and then I just pitched it down. And all the MIDI is gonna be for free, link in the description. So let's just take a look at what all these knobs kind of mean. For the Play series, they all have like these macro features. Macro is just like plugins that you can access very fast. And you know, you got your overall volume, you got your phase, you got your crush. Crush is like distortion. Drive is kind of like a bit of saturation, distortion, one of the same. Release is just the release of the sound. Let's just do some examples. You see how it takes a while for the sound to come in? It's not like hitting like a kick. It's like swelling up. And then drive. It's like that saturation distortion sound, but a little less harsh than distortion, so crush is more of it. Actually, crush in this sense sounds more of like saturation, and drive sounds more like distortion. So I take that back. But like I said, it's one of the same. Now let's hear the phase. See how it kind of spreads it? So it doesn't really clash your sounds together, because what's happening is there's two sounds that are being used to make this one sound. So as you can see over here, and you could change the sounds too. So you could actually come up with your own combinations, but Native Instruments already got presets for you. So you could really go more into depth and get a lot out of this plugin. And balance just means that you're going to use like the left sound more than the right sound, or the right sound more than the left sound. So it's just the knob to mix both of these sounds to your liking. And then as you can see, I skipped over this knob, and this is the 40 knob. And this is the sound effect that we call in a producer community the underwater effect. It just sounds like this. So moving on to effects, it goes left to right, and you can move them around just like if you watch my Playbox video. Playbox is also a play series instrument, so I go in depth in that, and you can see that in the link in the description as well. Honestly, if you're new and you're a beginner and don't really understand what things mean, just really just use the knob and just listen with your ears. When you're using your ears more than just your logic side, you're going to be able to come up with some creative sounds. Going on this sequence, it's kind of like arpeggiating, and it's kind of just like doing a lot of different things. Like I said, I'm not like really of a sound designer, so I don't really use these features, but it can come in handy. And then the macros is just a more in-depth modulation, you know, and the macros right here, you can mess around with it, and you can even have presets on the side. You could just go to sounds to actually switch out or like do a bit of sound design into the sound that you're already on. So let's actually make a beat with this and have some fun. And then I wanted to go like, dun, dun. So right now I'm actually using the 40's PWO piano. So now I just want like a counter melody. Start with this F sharp. Always give space to your beats, man. Like, don't just get so caught up in the quarter note kind of melodies. And the trick with counter melodies, just kind of stick around with the same notes, but just arrange it differently. Now I just want like either a chord progression or some bass notes. So it seems like F is like the main note in this kind of melody. I'm actually just build a F minor chord out of it, because I'm already using A and C sharp. For the most part, I'm probably in A major or F sharp minor. I'm just gonna use that. Keep it simple too. I don't have to have like 4 chord progressions going on with inversions, like nah. And for that sound, that was just a pad that I was using from 40's Lake Pad 2. So you could just go to the pad section and find that. And then now we just gotta have like a structure with our bass. I want to be like boom, 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 boom. You feel me? Still ending it off with that kind of, you know, melody right here. Just kind of make your beats a bit more uniform. We went to that E. And then we went back to that F sharp. So I'm gonna skip ahead. I have the drums already made, and you can see how simple it looks. But this is what 40's very own drums look like. They did a great job like designing these plugins. Like, as you can see, if you could look closely and really understand like graffiti, K is right here. These are like kicks, and you can see that S looks like a snare. And this is a T, so that's tom. So I thought that was like a cool feature to like recognize. And like I said, it still has the same macro controls at the bottom. And let's just hear it. Ooh. And that 40 knob, you know, you could just do some cool effects with that. You know, like you could have the reverb in the intro, fading it out, and then make it a hit. The cool thing about the 40's very own drums is like these are drums that he uses. Like I said, this just makes your workflow a lot easier to have in one place rather than scavenger hunt in all these different kits. And these are all the kits that come with it. So keep in mind, these are not like expansion packs that you have in Native Instruments where you could get the samples and all that. These are all just in this plugin, and he got quite a few that you can choose from. I went with the Queen Alley kit, and then you could go to the kit, see what's in the kit. And you can mute the sounds, you can solo the sounds. So you can also link sounds together, and that's what I did in the intro beat. I actually linked the snares and the hi-hat together, which is pretty cool. So all you have to do is just group anything together and it will just all be in one group. You also have all your ADSR features, your attack code, decay. You can even change the pitch, the volume, pan, and then you can even throw on your own effects. This is really like user-friendly. Everything is just right in front of your face on how to use this. And then this is a cool feature, like they have all these different patterns. So you could just think about it as loops. You could, you know, speed it up, you could half time it, and these are the global effects. And then the same macro effects like that I messed around with in 40 keys. Wait, so who is 40? Because I realized throughout making this video, I've been speaking a lot about Drake, but not as much as about 40. And I just want to give credit where it's due, you know, because 40 is a legend in the producing game, whether you know him or not. He also produced for many other people too, not just Drake. He produced for Lil Wayne, Action Bronson, Alicia Keys, and Jamie Foxx, and many more. And Native Instruments actually has a nice documentary video about him on his page. So I advise you, if you don't know him or just want to get familiar back with him, definitely watch that video. But back to this video, and just one more note, I actually have an affiliate link in the description. So if you like this plugin so far, I would appreciate it a lot if you do decide to get this plugin, that you use my link to help support this channel. And to close out this video, let's make a 40 style beat for Drake.